A question we get quite often has to do with the negative perception that people have of communism in Western society. There's a knee jerk negative reaction anytime the word communism gets mentioned. And of course, that's because of the huge amount of anti communist propaganda that people are exposed to in school, in films, in media, in the news. We're inundated with anti communist propaganda all the time. So, of course, people have this negative perception of communism and a misunderstanding of what communism is. But when people are asking this question, how do we push through that negative perception? It seems like they're asking for some magic words, some facts and logic that you can use in discourse, in conversation with family and friends to change their minds about communism. But as Marxists, we have to have an understanding that the material conditions of life determine consciousness. People will be receptive to communism because material conditions for communism have been built. Now, capitalism itself already has so many internal contradictions, and it's crumbling and decaying before our eyes. So the effect of the anti-communist propaganda and all the other propaganda of capitalism are beginning to weaken. That's one of the reasons why I became a communist, because I bought into the lies of capitalism hook, line, and sinker well into my late 20s and early 30s. But life experience and some harsh experiences that I had going through my life is what conditioned me to understand that capitalism is a fraud and to explore ideas like communism. In that sense, history is on our side, and it'll just make things easier for us as we go along and as things get worse. It's a sour grape sort of situation. But the other thing is we have to make material conditions for people to go to our side. And Fred Hampton talked about how cops would come into the neighborhood and they would ask the people, the masses, they would say, "What do you think about communism?" "Oh, we don't know anything about communism." "What do you think about socialism?" "We don't really think much about socialism." "What do you think about the free food program that the Black Panthers do?" They would defend that viciously. They would tenaciously defend the free food for children program that the Panthers had. Those were material conditions the Panthers were making to condition the people to trust and follow the leadership of the Black Panther Party. We have to use action. Actions speak much louder than words here. We have to lead the people by example and show that the communists are here to protect, defend, and serve the people. That's how you win people over to communism. And as communists step up and perform acts of service and defend our communities more and more, as we get more organized and build community programs, the people will naturally follow us because we are on their side and we are on the right side of history, and the forces of history back up everything that we say. So the more we as communists work to organize, the easier our job is to convince people to follow communism. There's no magic words. It's all about practice, putting theories into practice.